To you guys for the delay with this reading. Things have been really, really hectic as of late for me, and I'm traveling as well for work. So I apologize for the delay, and I can't apologize enough because I know you guys, your videos are always late, so I apologize once again. Either way, I hope that this video finds you well. I'm glad that you're still watching. I hope that it resonates with you, and I hope that you're able to extract information or, guidance from this. And it's a number 4 year, so I just feel like I have to, relay the message that things are going to be really, whatever hesitation that you have had in dealing with a person, a situation, a work environment, whatever it might be for you, you're going to get some answers and you're going to get some clarity. And I do feel like a lot of it is your own sense of knowing. And so I hope this video is helpful either way, okay? So I guess the message here is just kind of like the resolution is coming, the decisions are coming, or at least the information is coming. I don't see lack of information coming through this spread, but I do see some clear resolution, some clear decision making is going to be available. Okay, so I feel like I feel like it's on point for me energetically as a reader. You have two strong cards here that indicate pretty much, your sign. I have here the King of Pentacles. This is an earth sign, someone who's very practical, very pragmatic. When he or she makes decision, it comes from a space of, being able to weigh out all the factors that might affect the outcome of a decision. So this is someone who's very meticulous about making decision. They ponder over a situation. They are not impulsive. They're not rash, and they're very rational when it comes to, the decision making process. They weigh out the pros and the cons, and they mull things over. Some people might say that, Taurus take a really long time to deliberate before making a decision. But I feel in this situation, you're level-headed, you're clear. You know what works for you, you know what don't. You know what will not work, no matter how much you try to, justify or rationalize. I feel like you come into this sense of knowing what will work and what won't. And then we have the Hierophant, which is your card. The Hierophant deals with structure, stability. It's like the stable pillars of society on which civilization and things can be built. And with this card, it indicates an owl, okay? Full of wisdom, full of insights, and full of knowledge. The owl is sitting on a stack of books, okay? So, I mean, you can't get more theoretical than this, because this is someone who has the gift of insight, the gift of wisdom, a lot of research experience into a specific topic under their belt. This is also a card about going back to school. So first of all, let me relay the messages, the images that came through for you, and then we'll talk about how the message ties in with the cards. So I see this shop, and it's a really fancy shop, boutique. It's like a designer boutique inside a very fancy shopping mall. Okay, so it's like a shopping strip full of luxury boutiques, brand names, and designer names. Okay, designer items, and it has really high ceiling. And there's like chandeliers and floodlights. So this is a very expensive place. I see a customer, so I'm kind of looking through the eyes of a customer. She walks in, I feel like it's a woman. She walks in and she's looking at the store full of leather goods, okay? So it's a luxury store full of leather goods. The things that are on sale, not on sale like reduced price, but the things that are available for sale at this boutique is leather shoes, Italian-made leather shoes, belts, and handbags. Okay, so it's all leather goods, wallets, journals, even with a leather bound, cover. And she's looking around, and the chandeliers, the lighting, everything just makes the items sparkle. And already I just feel like, she's taken in by the sparkliness, the cleanliness, and just, the high ceiling. It just makes everything seem so extravagant. She's poking around. And then behind one of the walls and one of the pillars is this salesman. He looks like he's, in his late 20s. He's dressed in a suit with those really thin ties that are, the stylish these days. His hair is kept, it's swept back. He has black hair. He just looks really handsome. He looks like just very put together. And I guess like the person behind the cash register is calling to him and kind of like, calling him and then looking at the woman, indicating to him in a non-verbal way to take care of that customer, to see what she needs, to land a sale, to, do what you got to do as a salesman. So I feel like he's a salesman. And so he hesitantly walks up to her, and I hear a little bit of conversation exchange between the two of them, just like, hello, how are you? Is there anything I can help you with? And then I just don't hear anything else. So they're still conversing, but I stop hearing what they're saying. So I'm sensing that you can be the salesman or you can be the person being sold to, okay? I feel that the hesitation from his end deals with a lot of this sense of ethics from his end. Okay, so he's like in his 20s. He's still very young, starting out into the world. This is probably his first serious job. It seems like he's good at it because he's dressed the part, but he's also in this luxury department or like a designer item boutique. I don't even know what you call it. And he looks around and he's sort of thinking, this is not really worth the steep price tag. Okay, everything here is leather good. It might be imported, it might not be. And so he's hesitant about selling these items to this person because of the steep price. He, in the greater scheme of things, doesn't feel that it's worth it. So he's in his 20s, making his way into the world. He's probably got a hotel, or I'm sorry, an apartment bill that he is paying for. He's probably got car payments. So in the grander scheme of things, he understands that, these designer items are probably not worth the price. And so I'm not going to try to upsell anything. I'm going to try to, just ask the lady what she needs and then show her a few items that we have in stock, but I'm not going to pressure her. Even though I might make the commission, I'm not going to pressure her. So I definitely feel some hesitation from his end about upselling, about promising more than, he could deliver or the product could deliver. Trying to weigh out the ethics of, this situation, and trying to, make sure that you do right by the other person, okay? So what I do sense here is that energy coming through in this spread for you guys, where you're deliberating a decision, deliberating over a choice, trying to do the right thing, trying to take the practical decision as well, okay? To make the practical decision or to take the more practical route when it comes to what you do. And so for some of you, you might be in a career path where you feel like things are not really progressing as it should. Okay, so once again, this is you seeing the true value in yourself, knowing full well your capabilities, the education, the life experience, the knowledge that you bring to the table. Okay, you've got this pentacle in your hand, knowing full well your skills and assets and not willing to settle for less. Okay, so I feel like deep down you have this sense of knowing that I deserve more. I'm in a place, probably in a transitory way. It's transient. It's not forever. And so I have to make do with the situation. And I do feel with this imagery on top of, underneath actually, the hangman. The hangman is being in a situation that you feel is a state of like It's temporary. It's not permanent. You can get yourself out of this situation, but you're biding your time. So some of you are in a current work situation that you feel an end need to be put to it. You feel like you're not really, either the people don't appreciate everything that you have to offer, or you feel like you're not able to display yourself to your full capabilities. The things that you value about yourself, your work ethics, your meticulousness, those things might not be valued by the people that you work for. Your brilliant mind, you feel like for whatever reason it's not valued, or it might be devalued, or not a lot of emphasis is is placed on the skills that you bring to the table. So you feel that the longer you stay in this work environment or this situation, the more of yourself get lost in the shuffle. These good qualities about yourself, these qualities that make you uniquely you, you feel like it gets lost in the shuffle. Does that make sense? And so I'm sensing that for many of you, you're deliberating a change of environment. Okay. I also feel an environment where a lot of people are coming and going. It's like a revolving door, okay? You might form attachments, relationship with somebody, but at the same time, it's like, oh, for example, I really get along with this person, and then in a few months, they're looking for other things. They're flying the nest to go and find whatever is more suitable for them, another job, another position, another company, another location even. So where you are it's kind of like a transit hub, because people are constantly going and leaving. And so you find yourself here. You might have stayed here for a very long time. You might have thought that, like, oh, I can build a life here. And so you start building a life here, and then you realize that maybe this work is not 100% suitable for me. So I need to find something that is a little bit more up my alley. And so I feel that you're kind of questioning, where do I fit in this environment? Do I even fit in? And, have I already outgrown this environment? Do I need to, literally plant my seeds, plant my pentacles, elsewhere? Is this a place where I can settle down and retire and build up the nest egg and, be secure long term? Or do I need to look at other options? So I feel for many of you, you're looking at greener pastures. You're kind of looking at an environment where you can thrive a little bit better, where the things that other people value will be in alignment with what you value, where your skills and assets are on full display, where you're going to be able to make a mark in the world. So I do sense there is a lot more that you want out of life, okay? I feel like somebody in your life has really stirred up these feelings within you. The feeling of wanting more, not in the spirit of, restlessness or things like that, but they are stirring up higher ideals, higher vision within you. What exactly does that mean? Well, it basically means that we can be comfortable with the status quo, okay, where the money's good. The man in the store, he probably makes really good commission because it's such an expensive store that if you are paying like 800, 900, 1,000 for like a leather belt, he's probably making like 15% commission out of that. So he's getting paid well. He's dressed the part. He's really good at his job. He's just a little bit hesitant about selling something that is very functional, like a belt, to somebody for like $1,000. He just doesn't feel like it's practical, right? And so he probably, is really good at his job, is really good at selling items. But at the same time, it's like where you are financially is probably really good. You can increase your salary, by a fixed amount every year. So things are really good. You're in this designer store and people behave in a very, I want to say, polite way. So the work environment is good. There isn't fierce competition. It's comfortable. It's a nice surrounding to be in and day out, right? And I feel like for Taurian people, that's very important, to have a aesthetically pleasing beautiful environment to work in, to be in. Like, let's not forget the high ceiling, the airflow, the traffic, the barrage of clients and people with a lot of money, and also the chandeliers. What more can you ask for? So on the surface, it seems really great. You're making good money, but the higher ideals, the higher evolution of yourself, it's basically somebody, and I feel like it might be this person, King of Wands, okay? For some of you, it might be a fire sign, a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And this is somebody that is like very experienced, very good at their craft. I'm hearing as well, the roar, okay? The roar of the tiger. So it's somebody who commands a lot of respect when they speak. It's someone who is quite an eloquent speaker. They have a lot of charisma, a lot of, I don't want to say charm because that's not the right word. They have a lot of charisma, a lot of magnetism. They draw people to them. There's something about the way they sound. They're either very assertive, okay, like whatever I say, go. They're very decisive. They also don't like to compromise. Okay, so for example, if you're the salesman and you're in the stock room and you're taking inventory and you find out that these belts are like bought for 14 bucks, made in China or whatever, made in Malaysia, made in some type of underdeveloped country, right, or developing country, and you're just like, we buy it for 14 bucks and we're selling it for 1,000. That's not right. So this is somebody who's like that, who's ethical, who looks around and they see situations for what they are. And they cut through the facade, and I feel like they're commanding, okay? The way they live their life is very ethics based. And so somebody is kind of like calling you or calling you to I want to say to want to develop to your full potential, to develop to your full ideal. So never mind this comfortable place where you're making quite a bit of money, you're good at your job, you're in a beautiful exotic is what I heard, exotic environment. There is more to life. Where else can you go, or what else can you do that will make you a lot happier, that will fulfill all of these deep yearning and deep longings within your hearts of hearts that you feel this work environment is lacking. And a lot of it has to do with, ethics and morality. A lot of it has to do with doing the right thing by the right people. And a lot of it has to do with being in a work environment where I honestly feel like you're able to help people. If that's what you want, if wanting to help people, to be of service to people, to solve problems for people, if that's what you really want, and to be able to see people smile, and that you've done a really good job addressing their needs, okay? Then that makes you happy. That brings 100% satisfaction. This is a person that wants you to see all of those things, that wants you to see the whole picture, that wants you to kind of like be in a situation where you're developing yourself to your best capabilities, to your full potential, because they know you're capable of a lot more happiness than you're settling for. So I feel like there might be a situation where you are settling. You're feeling like it's not 100% best fit, and so you're just like, I'll find something a little bit better, maybe further down the line. But this person is like very action oriented, and they're like, the time is now, Taurus. We should get a move on, okay? There is a very strong emotional connection here that you have with this person. I have the Six of Cups. And this is a soulmate card. And the way that this card is coming out in this spread, you're meeting this person for a reason. You've met a soul counterpart, okay? It's like a soul family. This person is going to be very instrumental to you in the next phase of your life. They're able to get you there. A lot of the times people think soulmate relationships or soul ties last for a lifetime. And the way that I have seen it play out in my life and in other people's life, soulmates come in a time when we are in flux, when we are transitioning from one thing to the next. And for some of us, we know where we want to go, but we don't really know how to take, like which path to take to get there. We also might not know how exactly to get there. The dream that we want and we envision for ourselves, it's so far away and it's so out of reach. And so we don't really know the practical steps that we need to get there. And a lot of the times, these soulmates show themselves. For a lot of people, it's a relationship partner where you really trust this person. And so they might, give you a little bit of a nudge, a push, and you trust them because you love them. And so you take their advice. And then once you get where you're supposed to go, the relationship, unfortunately, sometimes when people don't no longer grow as a unit and they grow apart, the relationship inevitably ends. So I feel like it's one of those things where you have a really good relationship with another person and they're trying to get you somewhere that you need to go. I do see a lot of resistance from your end, Taurus. I see a lot of resistance, dragging your feet. I literally see somebody walking on sand and really dragging their feet, okay, like not really anxious about starting this new thing, and so they're really just literally dragging their feet in the sand. And sand show footsteps, right? Like if you step on it, it makes an indentation. So I feel like it's really driving home the point that you are dragging your feet because you're digging into the sand, one stride after another, really digging into the sand because you're hesitant about this decision. I also feel this decision entails a lot of sacrifice. Okay, it's a big move. It's a big move. There's a lot to mull over, rightfully so, and it is within your rights to, mull over this decision. So I feel like somebody is showing you something that they want for you. They're very selfless. This is a really loving, caring person, and they would do this for anybody without strings attached. They see the skills and the assets in a person. They have a really keen eye, and so they're able to look at you and know exactly what you're good at. They look at another person and they know exactly what that person's good at. So they're giving you this encouragement to do something great for yourself. But they would also do that for a perfect stranger. If they look at a stranger and that stranger is not happy, they'll be like, "Hey, here's what you can do. Here's what I really would advise you to do." So it's somebody that would do this for anybody, and they don't want anything, in return. There's no strings attached here because they're a good person, okay? However, you're looking at this skeptically, okay? Because I feel like for you, with this King of Pentacles, this is somebody who weighs out pros and cons, who weighs out both sides of a decision. And this is somebody who's also like practical enough where they would charge for advice. And the fact that this person is willingly giving out advice or giving so much of themselves and they don't really want anything in return, it makes you nervous, right? It makes you a little bit like, can I really trust this 100%? Can I trust that this person will be there in the long haul, for the long haul? Can I trust that this person really doesn't want anything in return from me? Can I really trust that, there's definitely no strings attached to this really steep price tag, for example? Excuse me, I have to take a sip of water. And so you're looking at a situation that has a lot of potential. It's a great offer that's like in your hands, and you're trying to figure out what to do with it, to go forward with it, and you're taking your time making a decision. So I feel like you already have the information you need. You already know which way you want to go, and it seems like future leaning is where you're planning to go. You're planning to take on this big opportunity, but you're dragging your feet. Okay, this hangman energy indicates a situation where there isn't like decisiveness. It's being in a state of limbo and mulling over a decision, mulling over options. And I feel like you have everything you need, but the only thing that's really getting in your way is pretty much whether or not you want to go forward with this. And I'm not saying that you're really, taking your sweet time. I feel like it's a big decision and you're hesitant because of it. So I don't blame you. It's going to be very transformative. And you know that is a major big phase in your life that you need to prepare for. Okay, so you might be in the process of preparing for this. I have here the Fool, which indicates to me that you're going to go forward with it because in all, in all sense of practicality, this is going to springboard you into a new phase in your life, a new job possibly, a new location, a new major endeavor. And everything is happening so fast. Okay, you're thinking like everything is happening so fast. You're getting nudged. See that dog right there? I usually think the dog is following the man, but in all the times that I've looked at this card, I feel like the dog is like encouraging him. This is somebody that is a companion to you, that will walk the distance with you, that will be there by your side, through the rough times, through all the ups and downs. You have a companion. You're not doing this on your own. So it's somebody who's making a promise to you. We're going to do this together. We're in this together, through thick and thin, pretty much. Okay, so for some of you, this could even be tying the knot, getting engaged, getting married, moving in together, some major endeavor. And we have as well the Devil. And the Devil energy is a situation that keeps us really bound, okay? And for you guys, I do feel like it's the practicality. Somebody might be showing you something, and you're just like, realistically, how are we going to do it? What is it going to entail? Is it really going to pan out? So I feel like there's an element of great risk associated with it. I can stay here in this beautiful, shop with the chandeliers, or I can try my luck doing something else that might not be sales related, but I'm foregoing everything that I know, everything that is stable, everything that is predictable in my life. So I feel like the Devil it's like that sense of predictability that you're very accustomed to. And now that you have to, turn over a new page and walk down a new path, is triggering a lot of fears and anxiety in you. Hence, you're hesitant. And so, this Justice card. For some of you, you might have a lot of things that you need to square it away before you take on this endeavor. Okay? For some of you, the Hierophant, schools, institutions, okay? For example, you might be at a job waiting for acceptance letters from a university, a school. I see like law school, I see med school, I see like a really expensive course of study, okay? And expensive is all relative, right? But we know law school and graduate school and medical school, these are like really expensive undertaking. And it requires not only, the money that we have to invest in it, but also the years that we're in school where we can't work full time and earn a lot of money. So it's like there are opportunity costs, not just literal cost of something, but like figuratively a lot of opportunity costs. Some of you might be in a work situation and you're just like, I'm okay with it. It pays the bills. I get a lot of money. I like my coworkers. I like the work environment. It's beautiful. It's extravagant. But I want something more for myself further down the line. And so you might be waiting on you might be waiting on things to line up one by one before you undertake this major change, evolution in your life. You might be waiting for acceptance letters. You might be waiting for a loan for a house even. You might be waiting on test scores. You might be waiting on results. You might be waiting on, being able to, there's something here tying you, like physically, that you can't really extract yourself from. You might be waiting on a divorce. You might be waiting on letters for a separation. You might be waiting on just something to kind of like unravel and clear up before you can move forward, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here. And I'm going to talk about the last two cards, because the last two cards indicate the flip side. And so I talked about you as the salesman, right? With a nice suit, very young, very handsome, really, just handsome, attractive, has great charisma, and, he looks the part. And then on the flip side of that is the customer. The customer coming into the store with the chandeliers. Okay, I'm really drawn to those chandeliers for whatever reason. I feel like there's something where you're staying that you really like, okay, that you spend a lot of time either polishing or you just like looking at them. I'll go back to that in a little bit because I'm getting messages from the customer's perspective. So I feel it as a woman. So I'm looking through her eyes, so I can't see what she looks like, okay? But she seems to me like she's in her 30s, in her 40s. She's on a good career path. She has disposable income. She's climbing up there. She likes her job. And so she's in this expensive store. It seems like it's made more for men, okay? I'm seeing like those leather shoes, and they're leather dress shoes for men. The belts and the wallets, they seem like to be for men. The bags are like more like duffel style bags or messenger bags. So they seem more to be for men. And it seems like she's buying something for somebody significant in her life, possibly a significant other or a man in her life. And it doesn't have to be a boyfriend or, someone she's dating. It's just buying something for a masculine person in her life, okay? Take that how it fits with your situation. And so I feel like for some of you, this might be you, and these two cards indicate that. Buying a gift, buying something for somebody that is in your life, and it's somebody that deserves the best, right? It's somebody that you hold in really high regards. And so you're in the store trying to find something that is worth the price tag, right? You don't want to buy them some cheapo thing and call it a day. You're actually taking the time, spending the money to make, because this person means a lot to you. And so the salesman is probably aware of this, that, money is not easy to come by. And so you want the best for whoever it is that's in your environment. You want to give the best of yourself. And so he's not going to try to upsell you. He's not going to, sell you a belt that the store bought for like $14 and, charge you 1,000. If anything, he might try to, dissuade you from just walking out of that store because he feels like the merchandise might not be worth it, right? And so what I'm seeing here is a situation where someone means a lot to you. And I have here the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands, okay? The Nine of Swords is a lot of worries, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worries, a lot of anxiety, and I feel like there's an element of guilt here. And then the Ten of Wands is a big burden. It could be financial, it could be physical, it could be emotional, spiritual, whatever it is. So with both of these cards, and the imagery is there, these mice, okay? So there's a situation here and a person that you're dealing with where they mean a lot to you. And I also feel like, the gifts are nice, but I guess like whatever you do, you feel like it's not enough. Okay, so whatever you do, even if I buy them this, $1,000 scarf or shoes or belt or purse or whatever, it doesn't mean, it doesn't even begin to tell this person how much they mean to me. And so as the customer, you might be thinking like, maybe this store is not the way to go. Maybe rather than buying something, that they don't really need, it's nice, it has the designer brand, but in the greater scheme of things, it doesn't really add value to the relationship. Does that make sense? And so I do sense that for some of you, there's an element of like making up, wanting to make up to a person for everything that they've done for you, wanting to compensate, wanting to make up. And I keep hearing make up, so it's sort of like there could have been an estranged situation between the two of you, and you're trying to make it up to them. You're trying to buy this gift and to give it to them, and at the same time say like, I'm sorry for everything that I've done, or talk to me again, or come back, or whatever it is. You're trying to I feel like you might be going about this the wrong way, because it's not the things, it's not the physical item, it's not the price tag. They don't need any of these things. They might just need you to come to them honest and open, with your hands stretched out, with this offer, with this apology, with these words. Because at this point, I feel like they're kind of turning their back. Okay? And so I see energies coming out in this spread where there's a little bit of guilt. I wish I'd done things differently. I wish I'd look at a situation for what it is. And I wish that, things were different. I wish that I've seen it sooner. I wish that I could have had this clarity. And I'm hearing that song, the piano piece, Claire de Lune, coming in. So I wish I'd had this clarity sooner. And so I feel like there's something here where you're very hesitant about possibly approaching this person. You might feel that they have moved on. You might feel like it's too late to make amends. You might really want them to, to have a sit down conversation with them and clear the air. But the emotional state with this crescent moon that is like a little bit foggy, it's like the emotional state is very unsettled and very unclear, so you don't even know how to approach this emotional topic to clear the air, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here. There's definitely a decision that you're clear about, and so don't drag your feet anymore, Taurus. There's a person in your environment who is a soulmate. I do see that. I see this love that is built on a lot of respect, a lot of like seeing the value in the other person, not in a tangible way. How much money can they give me? How much money can we add together as a couple? But a person that is like really touching you in an emotional and spiritual way. A person who doesn't care about money, who doesn't care about resources, who, because they don't care about these things, they attract money and financial resources and good luck, like, like bees to honey. Okay, so like it's somebody who lives their life with a lot of generosity, and because of it, they attract a lot of abundance to them. And this is somebody who touches you in a very emotional, spiritual way that you have never experienced before with another person. And I'm also sensing that, this person, you want them to go the distance with you. But the nature of soulmate relationships is they come together for a purpose. Once that purpose has been reached, it is up to the two of you to decide, are we still going to, grow together? Or are we at a situation where we are reaching stasis and we're not really progressing anymore and growing apart? So I feel like, it's you're at a pivotal junction right now, And you have to really, make that decision and no longer drag your feet, okay? I do feel a lot of you, this is a major overhaul of your life as you know it. So you're aware of this, and that's why you're hesitant about making this decision. For others of you, I'm seeing a lot of schooling vibe, okay? I would say it scares you, I feel, to be to commit yourself to, schooling, and possibly not being able to work while you're in school, or being able to work like reduced hours, and not being able to afford the lifestyle that you're used to, right? And so there's a nervousness here. And it's normal, okay? It's normal. So make this decision. Don't drag your feet and try to get a move on it, okay? Like I said, next year is a number 4 year. It's a very stable year. And I feel like it's a year for us to really work hard. Whatever we work hard at to achieve, we're going to see results, okay? It's a year to work hard so that you can get a promotion. It's a year to show others how hardworking you are so that you can like be an expert in your field, so that others see you as a serious, not only a serious employee, but someone who's really good at their craft, okay? So time with loved ones, families, take your time, all right? And for those who are still emailing me regarding private readings, I'm no longer doing those, but I do have a link in the description box for a psychic out of California. Her name is Bridget. She's amazing. I highly recommend that you get a reading with her if you're interested in spiritual guidance or advice as you're navigating through this energy, okay? I will leave it at that. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon.